Hey everyone, and welcome to this week's Deep Dive. It's almost Thanksgiving, and I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like my gratitude list is getting a little stale.
Yeah.
Family, friends, health. It's the same every year.
Yeah.
This year I was really hoping for like a new angle on gratitude, something I can really dig into.
That's really interesting that you say that, because we're actually going to look at that very idea today, and from a source you might not expect.
Oh, okay. Already intriguing. Tell me more.
Well, we'll be looking at a sermon called Let the Redeemed Say So. It was delivered by Pastor J-Anthony Dargan just this past Sunday, and he really dives deep into this idea of gratitude, and he uses Psalm 107 for inspiration.
Psalm 107. Okay, I think I've heard of that one. It's all about facing trials and persevering, right?
Exactly. It's basically a collection of stories about how God rescued his people from all kinds of tough situations, deserts, storms, even prison. And running through all those stories is this powerful theme of giving thanks.
I see where this is going. So how does Pastor Dargan connect this ancient psalm to our Thanksgiving today?
Well, he starts by talking about the things we're all naturally thankful for. Things like family, health, provision, the things that are usually at the top of everyone's list, especially this time of year.
Right, yeah. But I bet he doesn't stop there.
No, he doesn't. He kind of nudges us to think about where God fits in with all this thankfulness. Like, he suggests that without God, all those other blessings that we're so quick to celebrate might not even be there.
Whoa, that's a powerful thought. It's like you're going back to the source of all those good things.
Yeah. And to really get that point across, he uses a key verse from Psalm 107. Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good. His love endures forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord tell their story, those he redeemed from the hand of the foe.
Let the redeemed say so. Wow, that's a powerful phrase. What does it actually mean, though, to be redeemed?
So in this sermon, it means being brought back to a good relationship with God, restored. It's kind of like getting a second chance,
Yeah.
being set free from the things that were holding you back.
So it's not just about saying thanks for the good stuff, but recognizing how your life has changed, the struggles you've gotten through,
Yeah.
and giving credit to the one who helped you through it all.
Exactly. And that leads into Pastor Dargan's main question. If the redeemed don't share their stories, who will? If we don't talk about how God has been at work in our lives, how will anyone else know about his grace?
It sounds like he's really pushing the importance of telling our personal stories. I mean, we hear that a lot in faith communities, but he's connecting it directly with the whole idea of Thanksgiving.
Absolutely. And then he goes on to give 4 specific reasons why the redeemed should say so, why it's so important to share these stories of gratitude.
Okay, I'm ready. Give me reason number 1.
Okay, so the first reason is that God hears our cries. He paints this picture of people who are lost in the desert, wandering around with no direction, desperate for help, that feeling of being totally lost and alone, not knowing where to go.
Yeah, I think we've all been there at some point, literally or figuratively. It's a scary feeling.
And Pastor Dargan is emphasizing that when we cry out to God in those desperate times, he hears us. He doesn't ignore us. He comes to our rescue. He gets us out of trouble.
So it's about acknowledging that even in our darkest moments, even when we feel completely alone, there's something bigger than us listening to us.
Yes, and that takes us to the second reason. God breaks chains. This time, Pastor Dargan shows us a picture of people who are trapped by their own choices, stuck in negative patterns, or caught in harmful cycles.
That's powerful imagery. We've all felt those chains, whether it's an addiction or fear or negative self-talk, the things that stop us from living our best lives.
And his message is one of freedom. He's reminding us that when we turn to God, when we give up the things that are holding us back, he's strong enough to break those chains and set us free.
It's like that verse in John 8:36. So if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. True freedom, being free from all those burdens.
And it's not just about willpower or thinking positively. It's about tapping into a power bigger than us, admitting that we can't do it on our own.
There's something comforting about that, knowing that even when we feel weak, there's something out there that can make us strong.
Absolutely. And Pastor Dargan even gives us more reassurance. He reminds us that God won't give us more than we can handle. He'll always give us a way out. It says that in 1 Corinthians 10:13.
So God hears our cries when we're lost, and God breaks the chains that bind us. What's the third reason? Why should we share our stories?
The third reason is all about God's healing and restoring power. He talks about people who are suffering because of their own mistakes, the bad choices they made.
We've all been there, made mistakes. made bad decisions. And sometimes those decisions have consequences. It's so easy to get stuck in the guilt and shame.
But Pastor Dargan reminds us that even when we mess up, even when we go off track, God still offers mercy. He offers healing. He offers restoration.
It's like he's saying, look, you're human. You'll make mistakes. But it doesn't mean there's no hope for you. There's always a chance to start over.
Yes. And that message of hope is at the very core of the Christian faith. Salvation only comes through Jesus Christ. That's in Acts 4.11-12.
It's recognizing that even when we feel broken, we can be made whole again. There's something out there bigger than us that can fix the broken pieces.
And that brings us to the fourth and final reason why Pastor Dargan believes we should share our stories. God calms the storms.
I think that's something everyone can relate to. We all have storms in our lives. Maybe it's a health problem or financial trouble or problems in a relationship or just the normal chaos of life. It can feel like you're being tossed around with no end in sight.
Pastor Dargan uses the picture of sailors caught in a huge storm. Their ship is being tossed around by the waves. They're afraid for their lives. But then God comes in and calms the storm. He brings peace and quiet to all the chaos.
It's such a powerful image of hope. Even in the middle of our hardest times, there's something bigger than us that can bring us to safety.
And to really hit that point home, he quotes Lamentations 3.22-23. Because of the Lord's great love we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness.
It's a beautiful reminder that even when we feel like we're drowning in our problems, God's love is there to save us. His compassion is endless.
So there you have it. 4 reasons why Pastor Dargan thinks we should share our stories of redemption. God hears our cries, he breaks our chains, he heals and restores us, and he calms the storms.
Wow, that was a lot.
When we're with our families and friends this Thanksgiving, let's not just focus on how much food we have. Let's think about how much grace we've been given.
Let's remember those who are less fortunate, those who are hurting, those who are struggling. And let's ask ourselves, how can I be a vessel of gratitude in their lives?
Maybe it's a small act of kindness, a word of encouragement, or a prayer for them.
Maybe it's just being there, being present, listening, and showing compassion.
Because when we choose to be vessels of gratitude, we're doing more than just saying thank you. We're starting this amazing ripple effect of grace and change.
We're becoming part of something much bigger than ourselves. We're joining this chorus of voices that are proclaiming the goodness of God.
And who knows, maybe our small acts of gratitude will be the thing that brings hope to someone else's life.
So, as we finish up this deep dive, I want to thank you for coming along with us on this journey.
And as you spend time with loved ones this Thanksgiving, may your hearts overflow with gratitude. Not just for the gifts, but for the giver of all those gifts.
And may you be inspired to share your stories, to let your gratitude flow out, to be a vessel of hope and healing in the world.
Thanks for tuning in to the Two Hosts, One Message podcast, your go-to for exploring faith and spiritual growth. This week's message, Let the Redeemed Say So, brought to us by Senior Pastor Reverend J-Anthony Dargan, dives into Psalm 107, verses 1 and 2. If it's blessed you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who could use some encouragement today. Stay connected by subscribing. We drop new episodes every Tuesday to keep your spirit uplifted and growing. Normally, we'd love for you to join us for a live discussion about Sunday's sermon on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. However, there will be no live discussion this week as we pause to celebrate Thanksgiving. We'll be back next week to reconnect, reflect, and dive deeper. Feeling inspired to support our ministry? Your generosity helps us continue to share God's love. You can give through PayPal or Zelle using our email, CCOGNYC@AOL.com, via CashApp at $CCOGNYC, or on Givelify by searching Congregational Church of God, 1889, Amsterdam Avenue, New York, New York, 10032. Every gift, no matter the size, makes a difference. Thank you for being a part of our mission. And if you're in the neighborhood, we'd love to see you in person. Join us every Sunday at 10 a.m. at Congregational Church of God on Amsterdam Avenue between West 153rd and 154th Streets. Can't make it? No problem. catch the service live on YouTube at CCOGNYC or on Facebook at Congregational Church of God NYC. Wherever you are, we're here for you. At our church, it's all about faith, community, and spreading the gospel. Come visit. We promise you'll feel right at home. Thanks again for being a part of the Two Hosts, One Message family. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, and may God's blessings overflow in your life. We can't wait to connect with you, online, in person, or wherever God's plan takes you. See you next time.